Good morning, everyone. Today we deal with parts of a user manual. Now, a user manual is an instruction handbook and also a detailed outline into what an appliance or any device is offering to you. So this is not just it's not just a piece of paper that is given along with any new product that you purchase. Rather, it also is an added piece of paperwork that helps you understand what the purpose is and what are the uses of this particular device for that matter. So they have a lot of different parts which are being spoken about as we read. So what do we find in the user manual? So it the main essential part that we've actually seen user manual or even the particular places where we tend to observe it is in every product that we purchase, and by and large in all the electronic devices that we purchase, it accompanies it more like a familiar family member. So this particular person is, or this particular manual in particular, is able to tell you and guide you on what to do, what not to do, and what's the purpose of each and every button as well. So to get into it, it needs to have very less information, or rather only specific information that you would be able to learn from. So it starts off with a cover page that gives you maybe a very minimalistic design is definitely employed. It's not very flamboyant in colors, but rather they stick to a very dull and drab color scheme, but which only has the content required for you to utilize this particular machinery. It can even be a car, which comes with a user manual as well, talking about the features of the car, what each and every button does, where does the key go, and each and every part of it is telling you something about what is the purpose of it. Now, as it goes on, there are a few elements or rather few headings which ought to be there. I'm just going to shed light on a few headings which are more of a prerequisite to each and every user manual. So it is basically essential information, which is crucial. That is for the user of that particular user manual. So before we get into it, please remember that every user manual that you're getting into is being well thought of from an audience-based perspective. And that is the reason why you are able to have much better understanding of the content in it. So to talk about it, we have a table of contents which tells you what is where with appropriate serial numbers that helps you gauge and understand what the purpose is. So there was an example, or rather, I'd like to cite a particular situation where I did not know where I could find the knob to fill in the wiper fluid. So I opened the particular bonnet, but I couldn't find it specifically present this type of model of the car. So it was for my friend's car, and I asked him to quickly get out the car's manual, and he was able to get it. So as we were browsing through what kind of headings are available over there, that is when we were able to realize what is there in which page and what is there, or rather explain each and every part of the engine as well. So that gave us an understanding as to how easily it would be to access that particular the wiper fluid slot. And we were able to quickly top up and help him pretty much clear his screen before our long travel. In a similar way, at that point of time, we were also able to understand the other things, other electronic, say, properties of the engine affixed over there. So it is a detailed explanation and on a need to know basis, claiming the things you have to know. And it is much more detailed in that particular matter, so it becomes much more accessible for you. So that is one thing I would like to talk about. So once you see the index page, you're able to quickly get into which topic you want to get into based on that particular page number. So what it does is it gives you a product interview. It talks you or tells you who the intended user is, as well as the scope of the manual. Now, it see if we have to talk about a car in particular in a very detailed way, it would be a mechanical engineer's job or even an automobile engineer's job to look into it. So the end user of this product is something they look into before drafting a user manual. Now, if this were such a device or an appliance only made to be, or rather tested by an automobile engineer, then the way or the context in which it is said would be a lot different. It would not just be in a very simplified way where you have each and every key and switch telling you what the purpose is alone. Rather, you would have a much more detailed understanding of what the end parts of the engine are, what the piston gauge is, what the pressure is, and all the other sorts of it. But this would not be delving so much into the details because the end user is what they have in mind and how the end user is rather looking into, or rather how they're going to utilize this particular product. Next, the installation process. So if and when you have a product that you've purchased which requires assembling, can be any product from IKEA or rather any, let's say, appliance or certain accessories you buy online, you are given rather a set of to-do instructions, a DIY project which you're taking on yourself to construct it, or rather make sure you're able to connect the pieces together according to the regulations, or rather the step-by-step instructions given to you. So as they narrated, it's mentioned over there in a very crystal clear manner where you know what you have to do and what comes after which. And then comes this the operation instructions. Now, this, if you've observed, for those who've purchased washing machines or anything recently, uh, it tells you in a very simplified way what is the purpose of each and every button. And that will help you understand why you're utilizing that. So it will be the cycle, it will be the drying factor, it may also be the type of water level indicator or how much water you require to pretty much run a full rinse cycle. So everything that you're looking into over there is trying to tell you why you need that. So each and every button present on the particular, let's say, control panel tells you what is the purpose of each and every button present over there. Next, you also have flowcharts. Now, flowcharts are a key element in helping you understand how the cycles work. So these cycles pretty much can be of any note and also helps you understand why are you using it. So flowcharts play a vital role in helping you to understand in a much more pictorial way what could have been written as a sentence. So that helps you understand what cycle comes after which and how to manage it. Next comes the maintenance. The maintenance, as we all know, it's something we seldom do or we ought to do. Nonetheless, it's not like we regularly do it, but we need to look into it. So this tells you what to do and how to rather look after your particular appliance to make sure it has the maximum life. People who tend to ignore all these instructions, what happens? It tends to rather mess up the entire experience. I remember watching a video which spoke about how a person did not change their car's oil for, let's say, 2 to 3 years, and faced a lot of issues, and the engine wore down. So that's what ends up happening once not optimal care is not given to any product. So the similar way, why we should rather look into our products and how to pretty much make sure that there is longevity in our products and how to even ensure your products are working effectively and efficiently. Then followed by that, we have a technical description. So here they elaborate on the specifications of the product, the technical specifications. What is the voltage required? What is the particular cable used? What kind of dimensions are there? And also can talk about the materials used. So all these things are mentioned over here to help you understand the dimensions and weight. And also it's more, as in simpler terms, what it's actually made of and how is it made. That kind of a context is mentioned over here. Then you also have the warranty information and the coverage mentioned over here. So it tells you or helps you understand how long can this product be used or is it covered under warranty. So you know that in, and please remember that in general terms, a warranty lasts for 1 year from the purchase date. So that is something they pretty much tend to look into. And to end with, I just want to say that a user manual is not just a piece of paper you throw in the dustbin once you purchase a new product, but helps you understand what are the other nuances or rather the technical parts of each and every product. With that knowledge, you would be able to view it in a much better space. Thank you.